What's good, everyone? It's your boy Jamal Haki, channel dedicated to doing reactions and reviews around here. Listen to me, people. I know y'all see the title of the video, man. I got some bangers coming for you guys. I got some bangers. Hold on one second really quickly. Perfect. Right, I got some bangers coming for you. All right, today we actually going to be doing a reaction to one of Courtney Ryan's video. It's Hypergamy and Female Nature. Every single guy needs to watch this. So I'm a guy. I happen to be a guy that's very much so into like manosphere, red pill content. So I definitely am a heavy content watcher of that stuff, even to the point where I got The Rational Male. Shouts out to Rolo Tomasi. So I need to actually dive into the book myself. So personally, if guys need to watch this, I'm a guy. What's up, Courtney Ryan? Now, I have listened to Courtney Ryan before. One of the times that I have listened to her, she was she did a video with the roommates. So shouts out to Hafiz and Chris. Was it Chris, the star of the show? So let's go ahead and dive into this really quickly. Hypergamy and Female Nature. So I'm really looking forward to this one right here. I really am. Oh! Without further ado, let's get it.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today I'm going to be talking about hypergamy and female nature. I know a lot of you guys have been looking forward to this video. I've brought it up like in little bits in past
hypergamy and female nature, okay.
But I've never really done an entire video dedicated to this, and I think it's important, and it really does affect modern dating and you guys as well. So let's get started. You might not like some of the things that I say today, and to that I will say, don't shoot the messenger. I'm really just trying to be as transparent as possible, and during the video I'm actually going to be referencing some articles that I found that I think do a really good job explaining it, and give you guys just a little bit more context from some other perspectives as well. So some of you guys might be thinking, what is hypergamy? So hypergamy is the act or practice of courting or marrying a person of higher socioeconomic or social class than oneself. Translation, dating or marrying up, and specifically for women. Let's be real here and totally honest. If you were to go interview women on the street.
All right, so first things first, and I want people to understand this, right? And she may address this. She may address this in the video. Some of the argument could be, well, couldn't a guy be hypergamous as well? Again, we have to go back and look at hypergamy as a means of upward social mobility for women. It's nothing new, right? This right here is just going into like the article, but again, hypergamy in a sense is a means or a way for someone to climb the ladder, to move on up, right? Because women date their equal or up. Men do not date. Men don't date someone that's superior to them socioeconomically or status-wise or social. And reason why that's the case, because on the balance of probability, that woman wouldn't even find that man attractive anyway. So how could a man even have the opportunity to even date up? Because that woman is, that man is invisible to that woman. So when people speak on hypergamy, on the balance of probability, in most cases, it's going to only be in regards to speaking about a woman being hypergamous versus a man being hypergamous.
You think I'm playing?
So we have to highlight that.
For women. Let's be real here and totally honest. If you were to go interview women on the street, if you were to go ask women, chances are they would prefer someone who makes at least as much money as they do or more money than they do. Take a look at Kevin Samuels, the Fresh and Fit podcast, or really any other channel out there that brings girls on and asks them questions like this. Now, I don't want to put everyone in the same box and say that every single woman would say this. I think there are women out there that maybe don't care as much as other women do, especially women who don't care as much about a luxurious, lavish lifestyle. Maybe they just want to live a little bit more traditionally. I doubt that they care. And even then, I do think that most women out there, and emphasis on most, prefer someone who makes more money than they do for that extra security factor, to feel safer when it comes to financials. Even if they are making, enough money to support themselves and maybe their family, they still want someone who makes more. So I want to get to the reason why that's the case. And I actually found 2 articles. One was from Women's Health and the other one was from Men's Health. And it was interesting to see the differences between the two. There were similarities and correlations and a lot of overlap, but it was just interesting to kind of see the difference. I know that a lot of guys have a problem with hypergamy and the fact that women are constantly looking for someone, that makes more money than they do or maybe has a higher social status than they do. What's always really interesting to me is when I see men talk about this online, because I think a lot of times women who, tend to go for a man that makes more money than her or someone with a higher social status, they kind of tend to give women like that a bad rap. They're called gold diggers, materialistic, shallow, the list goes on. But what's really funny to me is
by
that
men or by women?
Every socioeconomic status tend to go for men who make more money. Like I said, even if she is making a good amount of money herself. So often I don't think it really comes from a place of, being malicious or trying to take a guy for everything he has. I think it is about this feeling of...
See, the issue is, even though that may not be the intention, that may not be what the person initially is like going into the situation for, this is where the issue comes on both ends of the table, right? See, if the man who got the money, he may be flossing and bossing, and if he's leading with his wallet, he's going to come off as a trick, right? And the moment that man comes off as a trick, right, that woman is going to see that and she's going to exploit that, right? So she's going to do what she can in that situation, right? And she's going to continue and continuously extract resources from that man, right? And so that man is going to eventually look stupid, right? To the point where he's literally sucked dry, bone dry. And then now he looking up and thinking in his head like, dang, this woman really used me for my paper. She really used me for my money. But really, stupid. The dude was being stupid because he was leading with his wallet the whole time. See, initially, maybe the woman actually saw him for his personality. Maybe the person had some game. Maybe the person was actually a very loving person. They had a good conversation. But it was the leading with the wallet that was like, okay, this is how you want to treat this relationship. Well, I'm going to keep milking you dry then and taking you for all that you have. So, I mean, in some cases, some people turn other people. Well, you can't turn someone into a gold digger. Someone has to become one. But again, it takes two. It takes two.
Oh, is that so?
Of safety and security that's been kind of ingrained into us to look for in a partner. And since women are continuously becoming more successful when it comes to finances, their careers, education, socially, it's becoming more difficult for men to kind of meet that criteria that they're looking for, as women are entering workforces that they maybe weren't in the past, and they're making more money than their male peers or men in other industries where they maybe don't make as much money. The balance there is really odd. And I was reading this article and came across something super interesting that says, even as women earn more university degrees than men, they are still 93%. 93%. That's a high percent. More likely to marry men with higher incomes, according to a 2016 study conducted by the...
I want us to really highlight this point really quickly. In fact, even as women earn more university degrees, again, this is statistically proven, there are more women in university and college than there are men. I think the ratio is 3-to-1. For every 3 females, there's 1 male, right? So these women these days the modern women, they're focused on getting their degrees, which again, no one is saying that it's wrong. However, right, when you continue on with this right here, they're still 93% more likely to marry men with higher incomes, right? So the reason why that's very startling is because these women that got the degrees, that go and get higher education to get more income, anyone who makes below them is invisible. So they're only looking at the top 20, the top 10% of men. And so you have majority of the women looking at the top 20 to the top 10% of men. That's tough, y'all. That's tough. Really break that down.
University of British Columbia. And though higher incomes don't necessarily equate to a higher social class, financial security is one of the main drivers of female hypergamy. And I mean, when you think about it, it's incredibly true. If I look at every single woman in my life, I don't know one that is married to or dating a man that makes less money than she does. We often, I think, just tend to seek out men who are better off than we are, even if we don't necessarily need to. If any of you know anybody where the dynamic is that the woman is making more than the man, please share down below, because I would be super interested to hear about it. Because
share it,
my
please.
lens and my perspective and my, personal life, I don't know anybody like that, and I think that's very interesting. So why do we as women do this if we don't even necessarily need to? We are more financially successful than ever. We are more educated than ever before, and yet we're still looking for men who are somehow better off than we are. Well, the article explained it for us, and it says, this may be an evolutionary callback to the prehistoric woman's need for a capable provider. There are inherited tendencies for some women to be attracted to men who have more means, which goes back to our roots as hunters and gatherers. Similarly, there are inherited tendencies for some men to feel attracted to women who appear more fertile. Example, wide hips, long hair. That said, we are the only species who has the capacity to be consciously aware of those tendencies, and we have moved beyond them as a primary driver for mating in today's more modern world. And although I do think there are a lot of women who don't necessarily care about that as much, I do think the majority still do, even though we don't need to. Men want a woman who they find attractive, and there is an evolutionary underpinning to what men deem attractive, says Fisher.
Like, what people need to understand, I think one of the major takeaways from like listening to a little bit in this video, again, a lot of the stuff that we do is like, it's rooted in our biology, even to the point of like us being attracted to said individual. Here's the major thing, right? And I say this even to my fiance, like, men and women are completely different, right? How we operate, how we think, how we perceive things, how we handle things, how we tolerate, right? Like, sorry, what we tolerate and how we tolerate, or why we tolerate. There's things that are majorly different between men and women. So even to the standpoint of this whole hypergamous mindset and why we want what we want, right? It even explained it right here. This is like some prehistoric, biologically, like, it's like ingrained into our nature for a woman, even regardless of that woman making more money or enough money to take care of herself. Again, why would she? When she can literally meet a man that is more dominant than her, taller than her, bigger than her, makes more money than her, you name it, that's more than her, right? That's going to allow her to still be in a feminine position, or to put her in a feminine position, right? To put her into her nature, to put her into what she is actually created and meant to be, versus her having to be a masculine, versus her being basically a female demonstrating masculine traits in order for her to succeed in her company, right? Because again, there is a large predicator in terms of knowing that the most unhappiest demographic of people is a woman that's making upwards of 6 figures in her 40s and is single. So that road of this modern woman lifestyle of her getting the degrees, higher education, getting more money, being single, looking for a man that's making more than her, is going to lead into her being single and unhappy, unless there is something that is to change. Now, is it a woman's fault that she chose to get more degrees and make more money? No, it's not her fault. It's just that, again, with that whole hypergamous mindset, her options become very scarce and limited because she's looking for the top 10 to 20%. So I guess one of the ways to kind of offset that is just us as men need to step up to the plate and actually do a better job of focusing in and locking in on our purpose, so we actually do got the money, we got the game, we got everything that we need, so that when that woman is out there, they're able to lock in on that type of man, right? They able to find that kind of man because there's more men that's able to step up to the plate and be that kind of man for that woman. But if more men are not like that, but then they still thinking in their head like, man, why can't I find a woman? Why do I feel ostracized from getting a woman? Well, again, you're not putting yourself in a position to be seen, because in order for you to be seen by women, especially women that are educated, you got to be on your purpose. Maybe you don't want that kind of woman. Cool. But if you don't, still, in order for you to be attractive to women, there's something that you must bring to the table.
Oh my goodness!
Attractiveness in this context means that those women show signs of health, youth, and fertility. That's why many men will marry down in social class for someone with superior looks. And it totally makes sense when you think about it. Women want the guys who are more successful, who have created an empire, who make more money, and men want a woman who, you know, maybe doesn't have the best job, maybe isn't anywhere high on the social status, but is attractive. And I think this makes a ton of sense when you look at men who make a ton of money and the woman that they're with, and women who are very beautiful and attractive and the man that they are with. So it kind of lines up and it makes sense. And I think the reason why there's a little bit of a kind of shift in the way that people feel about this is because the world has changed. Women are making a lot more money. Women are more educated. Women
They also got a lot more
higher
debt
up
too
in the social class than ever before. So that need for a man who has that is becoming significantly less. But people who want a relationship, women specifically who want a relationship, want to be married, are still going for that top percentage of men who meet that criteria. So the available pool of men is shrinking. So an interesting thought I want to leave you guys with in the comments is,
see, yeah, the available pool of men is shrinking because majority of women, if not all the women, want the top percent of men. And then the top percent of men are like, well, I got all these women to choose from. See, come on, like, y'all gotta really make this make sense, y'all. Hey, she's spitting, though. She's spitting.
Perfect.
what is going to happen as women continue to become more financially successful?
They gonna have to
more
share the
educated,
man.
better off than most men are. Women will have no choice but to either marry down, go after the top percentage of men, which I think is what is currently happening, or not get married at all. When the entire pool of women are going after for a tiny pool percentage of men, there's obviously going to be women who don't get what they want. And I think that those women end up becoming resentful, bitter, men, say that men aren't good enough, say that there's no good men out there or no good men left.
Yeah, there's no good man. What happened? Where did all the men go? That's exactly what they gonna be saying right there when that happens. They gonna be saying that right there.
Because they feel like they've all already been taken. And it's going to be interesting to see how this dynamic continues to change for men and women, because men are either going to have to rise up or
Which is what I just said.
Forever single, like some of these women are going to be.
Yep.
So it's very interesting, and I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comments below. But hypergamy is real. It does exist, and I think it even exists to a point where when a woman gets what she thinks she wants or gets someone successful, then she just constantly wants more or wants better, right? The same
Not
way
happy.
A man gets an attractive woman, but then gets that attractive
Shouts
woman
out to
and thinks,
Kroger's album.
there's someone more attractive than her. And so then he gets someone with a bigger butt or better hair or a better face.
See, I'm a push back on it. So hold on. I want to really hear this. Hold on.
That attractive woman and thinks, oh, there's someone more attractive than her. And so then he gets someone with a bigger butt or better hair or a better face, you know what I mean? So I do think it's kind of the same in the sense where men are going after the most beautiful and attractive women. They get an attractive woman and then they see someone more attractive and cheat on her with the more attractive woman. So it's kind of just everyone constantly going for the next best thing or looking for the next best thing and being unsatisfied with their decisions. It's kind of a mess. And I do.
All right, so I'm gonna reason with her. She's not wrong in what she's saying, but here's what she's severely leaving out, and she's already even said it in her video. She said this in her video. I'll repeat. She has said this in her video, this current video that we're watching, right? It's already proven on the balance of probability that majority of men are invisible to women, right? I'm gonna repeat this again. Majority of men are invisible to women. So the opportunity for a man to be in a situation where he's with a woman and then he cheats on that woman with a woman that is perceived to be better looking, right? Here's the thing. Yes, that will be, I guess, the man in some form of way actually acting on his hypergamous nature. The only issue is that doesn't really happen often. Unless the man is putting himself in a situation where he's lying to other women, and then the woman is perceiving that man as an ambitious, rich, wealthy, purposeful person for them to want to be with that man, right? Because the thing is, for women to find men attractive, and you already even said it in the video, there has to be something that the man is bringing to the table. There has to be something that that man is doing in or being for that attraction to occur, right? So though I agree with what you're saying about the hypergamous thing, again, the woman, boom, she gets with someone, that man is like everything. And again, and I wish she actually brought this study up in the video, where there was a study that was done where, again, you had women that was able to get a man or see if they was attracted to a man that had 80% of the qualities that they was looking for. And I think majority of the women said no, they wouldn't want to be with their man, even though the man had 80% of what they was looking for, which is majority. However, with roles were reversed, the roles flipped, man given the opportunity to be with someone that has 80% of the things that they're looking for, majority of the man is saying yes to that, because women are more selective. Men are more likely to settle versus women are less likely to settle. Women are more selective in their choosing. So by them being as selective as they are, even with being with someone, it's only a matter of time before they can say, hey, I'm not happy with this situation. I want to move on. I want something better, right? And for a woman that's young and attractive, maybe she can use that as her negotiating power, says, hey, I'm young and attractive. I want something better. Boom. And she gets something better. A celebrity, a rapper, actor, you name it. You name it! Versus with a man, a man's negotiating power only comes from the purpose that he's bringing to the world, the things that he has built, the things that he has made, the work that he's put in. Because if there's no work that that man has put in, like, the opportunities or the options are not even there, right? It's almost like literally, like, it's almost like a fighting game, right? Let's say, for instance, you bought a fighting game from the store. You didn't pay any extra money for downloadable content. You just got the standard edition of the game, right?
Perfect.
The game said that there's 50 characters in the game. However, the standard edition only comes with 8 characters. And you thinking to yourself like, damn, it sure would be nice to play those other characters. But there's work that you have to do to unlock those characters in order for you to play that. That means your options are limited. You have limited options, right? Versus with a female, when she gets the game, everything's unlocked already. Everything's unlocked.
Perfect.
She didn't have to work for anything. It's already unlocked. Matter of fact, she got the game for free. Versus you had to go out and purchase the game and still put in work on top of it. That's the difference.
Perfect.
I'm really spitting today, boy.
Fire! Dragon's mouth blow to better!
Do you think it all comes from a place of us always wanting more, wanting
I'm
better,
really
never feeling
spitting
satisfied?
today.
And I'm not going to go too much into that because I did an entire video on why people are never satisfied that I think everybody should watch. So if you haven't seen that, definitely be sure to check it out. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I think we can all come to the conclusion today that hypergamy is very real. It exists, and I'm interested to see kind of how it plays out in the future of modern dating and, you know, the dynamic between men and women. So let me know what you think down below. We'd love to get a conversation going. A healthy, constructive conversation.
Maybe.
And that's pretty much it for the video. Honestly, I probably said all that I need to say during the actual reaction part of the video. I was able to pause, add in information, anything additional, extra that to what she was saying. I think at the end of the day, if I was to probably throw out something or to offer a potential solution to all of this, I would say the main thing would be, again, in the great words of something I heard from my fiance that she heard from Jordan Peterson, the best of me serving the best of you. Really, at the end of the day, by us focusing on ourselves and being the best version of ourselves, we can in return be the best versions for the opposite sex and or whoever that you're interested in. This is all, want to include the LGBTQ community. It's not just all about the heterosexual, you name it, right? But in most cases, if you're watching my channel or you're watching me, you probably maybe heterosexual. If not, cool. You still have to be the best version of yourself to attract that of which you are attracted to, or to get someone to be attracted to you. Same difference, right? So at the end of the day, it takes work. There's effort, right? It's figuring out those things. What is something that I know that I can be, I can do, right? Understanding the male and female dynamic, the difference between the genders and things of that nature, right? How men operate and how they think and how they work. Females operating, you name it, right? Educating yourselves, diving into books, research, videos, right? Listening to and viewing content creators that's going to be able to help you understand information such as what Courtney Ryan herself was discussing in the video. Is doing those things, putting the work in on the back end in hopes of having a better relationship, right? A lot of times people can go into situations where they're in relationships, then situationships, in hookups, you name it, right? And then they wonder why certain things are not working out in their favor. It's because they didn't take the time to put the work in, right? They didn't take the time to educate themselves.
Nope.
Right? There's work and effort that it takes to be great, to be the best version of yourself. But if you're not doing anything to help you on those ends, then you're only going to end up continuously hitting the wall and wondering, why the hell am I hitting this wall? Right? It's going to keep happening. So being the best version of yourselves, really understanding what you're looking for, right? Disney Channel, fairy tales, you name it, being in La La Land, whatever that you're used to seeing on TV and things of that nature, it's not real, right? Some things that we're used to experiencing via watching social media, TV, it's not real, right? That's called conditioning, right? We're conditioned to think a certain way based off of what we have grew up watching, what we are accustomed to, right? So if you're thinking that you're some female that's 24, 25, and you like, I'm going to find a man that's 24 or 25 that's going to meet the criteria of these things that I'm looking for, so they're either my equal or above me, you're sadly mistaken, because that's not the reality of the situation. In most cases, men don't hit their stride and they don't hit their prime until they in their mid-30s, early 30s, mid-30s. So that is why, on a balance of probability, or in most cases, women tend to be attracted to older men and or should go for older men, right? For those very reasons. As to why men may go for a younger woman, well, that's for the obvious reasons, right? Because again, hypothetically speaking, if a man is hitting his prime, right, around, let's say 34 or 35, right? How much sense would it make for that man to go after another 35-year-old female? Make it make sense, right? That female has already lived life, went through experiences, was in relationships, in and out of relationships, may have been married before, divorced, you name it, right? In most cases, right, if she's 35, if she's single, she's either been married before and divorced, or the other red flag would be, well, wait, no one has proposed to you, you haven't been married yet, and you're still single? Makes me wonder, how are you 35 and still single? So, see, that's why, like, make it make sense. And then on top of that, she's most likely educated, has been back into school due to being single. What is a woman going to do if she's not in a relationship? Well, I'm going to focus in on my education. So I'm going to get more degrees to kill time. And while I get these more degrees, I'll worry about getting into a relationship when I finish my degrees, right? She's going to be more of a headache, more combative, right? More argumentative, right? The more older she is, she's going to be more stubborn and more hard-headed and more stuck in her ways versus someone that's younger and a little bit more malleable, more adaptive, trainable, you name it. The willingness to actually participate or learn things as the relationship is growing, right? So that's the key difference between the two. So at the end of the day, man, this was a good video right here, man. People need to watch this one right here. I'm telling you right now, right? Perfect. I ain't playing. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Hit the bell to be notified. And if you're new to the channel, man, make sure you check out the affiliate links down below. I got everything down below. Click on that Koji link tree real quick, right? Everything is down there below, man. And that's pretty much it for the video, man. If you like what you seen, you already know what to do. So it's your boy JamalHaki. Peace out.
I'm at the top of my game. It's only Christ to blame. We know the reason you came. Diamonds and dollars and chains. How about you? Sit back. I got this. Relax. Who said I changed up? Yeah, cause I said I'ma need racks.